It takes years to pull it back together. I am such a dick when it comes to being hard-headed and not relenting on anything that I believe in. Come hella high water, as they say. Even fuck the sun. I'll stare at the sun. Fuck you, sun. Burn out. Burn out first. Fuck you. I'll find enough water to put you out. I get that from my dad. Thank you. Of just being that relentless and just fuck it. Even if I'm not conscious of it and I have to go into automatic, I will not stop. So it took everything, but I had to get away from it. I had to go into exile because I was so tired of being under a microscope and all the scrutiny and everybody thinking they knew what happened, and they didn't, because the whole time people wanted me to fail. The whole time while I was there, I helped empower a whole coast. I was taking meetings for other artists, trying to put them on, because my concept at that time was, even in the midst of my bullshit, from day one was, let's get more people signed. Let's hit these radio stations and say, why isn't there more new West Coast artists being played? Why isn't there more artists emerging from L.A. and elsewhere up and down this coast? And we need to unify. And the old regime has learned a bad way of business and a slave plantation mentality of, I'm going to sign you to me and I'm going to fuck you the same way I was fucked at the label. So you see this continuous perversion of the molestation scenario of, I was touched, so now I'm going to touch you, and we're going to continue this fuckery. So I was fighting all that. So I was having secret wars with a lot of your favorite old school West Coast artists, as well as whoever else. And I was taking a lot of burn for trying to open the doors. But that's just me. I'm going to go after what's right and what's going to unify and what's going to help to stimulate the market, because the more people out there makes the business better and touches that many more lives and gives people opportunities to get out of these fucked up neighborhoods, one, for a little while, because they could end up being another number or another inmate. Two, you can come back and fix your community and fix up your community and bring more people out. So that's where my mind always was and remains to this day. So even in the beginning, earlier stages of that whole notion, that spark happening, it's been evolved and totally manifested now. So I was always that guy. So I knew it was bigger than music. It wasn't about me being a star. It was about getting a position to empower people and continuing that mentality. And strengthening that mentality and making sure there's a Justice League. Again, nerd references. There's a Justice League for the good guys in the business and for artists in the business. But the ego comes in and vanity comes in, and artists forget what I had done for them. And I said, all you have to do is pay it forward. And this is before the Pay It Forward movie. This is a billion years before. And it was just pay that energy forward and keep that construct and evolve and modify that construct as you see fit, but make sure that each one teach one and we put each other on. And that's what it was for me. So
was there somebody, I mean, a lot of people talk about that, right? Russell always talked about, hip hop as a vehicle for Black empowerment, right? Cube used to talk about uplifting,
right?
And building financial independence, right? That's been, and most of what we've seen play out is those guys kind of forget that as soon as
you fucking right. I was about to say we saw the opposite happen. Yeah. Absolutely.
And so, but was there somebody doing that you saw as a model?
Dame Dash.
Okay.
Never gets the credit he deserves.
No.
Will always remain one of my idols. A great human being. In the midst, I met him in the midst of Rockefeller falling apart and everything, and that man still was taking time. And out of all the meetings I took ever, because I had a huge bidding war, because once Dre says your name, everybody wants to throw $1 million at you. So I'm with Clive Davis, and he's falling asleep with his guys at the table listening to the music, and he wakes up and goes, "Was it good? Is it? Oh, it's amazing." Oh, and he fall back asleep to Sylvia Rhone. I mean, you name it, everybody.
I had a meeting the other day, and the dude fell asleep.
See? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I just knew, should I just let myself out?
Right, what's going on here?
Going anywhere.
And he's got the young guys in there telling him, oh, it's hot, it's crazy, Clive, it's crazy. I love it because it's fucking Clive Davis, and I know his history.
Right.
But the realest meeting I had, Dame was just like, dude, you look like you're more than a fucking rapper. So you need to be in the real estate, you need to be in the fashion design, you need to be into the film industry, writing, because you don't look like you're just some fucking dun-dun. And he was the realest fucking dude through it all and helped me navigate so much bullshit that would befall me unbeknownst to me. So Dame is someone I saw very key on doing that because people never give him his credit, but I go, please go back and look at everything that he accomplished with Rockefeller and be like, what about Jay? Without Dame and Jay, that wouldn't have happened. And Biggs in that situation, people never want to give him that. Now, also, look what Dame did with a Kanye West, who nobody was fucking checking for. They forget that Dame signed Kanye West, not Jay-Z. And they be like, no, we just see niggas in Paris. No, bitch. Dame took that chance first. I know the story very fucking intimately because I was there. You also see a Kevin Hart before anybody was fucking with Kevin Hart in a lot of the Rockefeller films. Now Kevin Hart is household name. Look at what this dude's done again and again for the culture and just for how it impacts the world. Fashion, the investments in alcohol, which I don't do. I've loved alcohol for many years, but I won't do that. But look, the Omadale shit, whatever it was, the Rockaware, how powerful that was. Yeah. Dame did that. I can't really speak for many other people, especially off the top of my head in real time, but I can say that without blinking. Dame was that because everybody would talk that empowerment and boo. You know, that's bullshit because like I always tell people, these cats will get on their pro-black shit and, you know, we got to stick together and they will do us more foul than the so-called white devil in these situations when they got their dashikis on and they're feeling all, you know, headed for self-destruction. You'll fuck us worse through the disarmament, through trying to make us feel comfortable through those kind of speeches. So you would see them reflecting our supposed oppressors because for me, hip-hop wasn't just to empower black people. It was empowering the oppressed, period, the poor, period. And poverty has no discrimination against whatever fucking color. So hip-hop gave way that fucking everybody, whatever the fuck you were, you could have an opportunity to get out. And that's all I cared about. If this is going to keep you from going to jail, this is going to keep you from having no money, this is going to keep you from killing yourself, this is, you know, whatever it is, if this is going to get you out of your PTS, because we all are experiencing PTS from living in inner cities and going to jail and just fucked up everyday life, believe it or not, if you see a therapist, you'll be like, yo, I got PTS, I didn't know that. But that's what I wanted for hip hop, and I didn't see that, and I'm in it by myself, and I'm actually the real deal. You know, the way I talk now is the way I talk every day. I'm Philip more than I'm Bishop. If Philip would have been a better name to rap with, then I would have just fucking been Philip. You know, because I'm Philip every day, and I forget. Like when we were at the show at the Chalice Festival a little while back. And I'm with Qua, and we're about to hit the stage. He's like, "You got to rock too," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I am a rapper, huh? I'm just here because I want to see Wu-Tang, but and see him rock. But I'm more about the human aspects of it in everyday life because that's what's really important. What goes on in the studio, all that shit is important. Don't get me wrong. Shooting the videos, the live stage performances, but who you are when the cameras aren't watching you, who you are with people when nobody else is around, the choices that you make really are what defines you as a human being, as a man or woman, whatever you want to say. So that's where I've always been, and that's where I'll remain, and I'm staunch in that.